Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say a massive thank you to each and every single one of you who have watched the previous video about Alton Towers. Now, there is more to that story, and if you want to see more to that story, just give this video a thumbs up, a comment down below, and a subscription to the channel to get me to make part 2. That'd be absolutely fantastic. So, as you can see by the title down there as well, on this video, this one is all about Drayton Manor. Now, Drayton Manor, it is a fantastic place to work. I worked there for 2.5 seasons. I'm going to quickly brief you on what I did there, how I managed there, how they managed mental health, what rides I worked on, and the staff, the management, and everything else to go along with it. Now, heads up, if you like my negative videos about certain companies, this one isn't so much of a negative one. And I'll tell you that for why. It's because I can't really think of anything negative to actually say about the place, which is very unusual to do with a company. However, here is my little rundown of what it's like to work at Drayton Manor. So first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to each and every single one of you who are subscribed, who do comment on the videos and do like. I do reply to 9 times out of 10 comments people who do post them on the channel, so I do appreciate every single one of you who do come over. So what are the things I actually like about Drayton Manor? So we'll start on what I did. I worked as a ride host or ride operator. They like to call it ride host over there. And that basically just means anything to do with operating the rides, to hosting the rides, to getting the people on and off, and giving great customer service as per usual. I'll start off with what I worked on. So I worked in Thomasland predominantly. I worked on Winston Whistle Stop Tours, which is basically a monorail what goes around the park. A ladies carousel, which is the most boringest ride anyone could ever think to go on, but it's great for little babies because they get to go on their little first ride and babies can go on it. I also worked on Diesels. Diesels was a little fun demolition derby type ride. If you don't know what they look like, just search on YouTube. Yeah, it was a pretty fun ride to work on. I did like that one. I worked on Sodor Railway cars, and or Sodor cars, classic cars I think it's called. It was also a great little ride. It's fantastic to think that I worked on a ride which is so old. It's been there pretty much since the park opened. So it's a great little ride to work on. I worked on Harold's helicopter tours, which is basically just a spinning ride which goes all the way up to the air and all the way back down. Now that ride was interesting because if you ever go on it, it makes you feel really sick, but it's an interesting ride, never in doubt. I also worked on Bulstrode, which is a rocking tugboat, which again was a little fun ride to work on. Really easy to get people on and off of that ride as well. Really fun ride to work on. I also worked on Troublesome Trucks, which is the junior coaster in Thomasland, the only junior coaster in Thomasland. Hopefully they'll add another one soon because I really think it could do with it. That ride was one of my latest rides I actually got. It's a really fun ride to work on. Really nice people who come on there as well. And the staff who all work on there are also really nice as well. Going out of Thomasland, I also worked on the Dodgems, which I never thought I'd ever say in my life I'd work on the Dodgems. But that's a really fun ride as well to work on. You've got a little music all day, which is different to Thomasland and obviously different to the park music. But it's a pretty good ride to work on. Very lot of manual labour, moving the cars back and forwards. And during the fireworks, no one really goes on it, so you can get to have a look into the fireworks. I also worked on a pirate ship, the Bounty, which was, I think, one of the tallest ones in the UK. Really interesting to see people's scary faces on there. You get a lot of families come on, you get a lot of teenagers, and you get a lot of school groups as well. Fun ride to work on, lovely in the summer, boiling hot in the summer, and also freezing cold in the winter. Now, a surprising one what I also worked on was also the Rapids. Obviously, the Rapids had that massive incident back, don't know when it was, I think it's 2006 off the top of my head. It's been closed for X amount of time, and it got reopened with brand new safety precautions in place. One of the safest rides I can even think out there now. 100% CCTV coverage. It's also got 2 spotters located around the ride. Staff radios for everyone to communicate to each other if need be. All the staff are also completely trained in water rescue. I also got a chance to operate that ride as well, which was also really fun to say. I operated a Type 1 or Type 4, depending on which company you want to compare it to, ride. So it's awesome to say that. So what is the typical working day at Drayton Manor? It's the same as any other really theme park out there. You start around about 9 o'clock unless, 10 o'clock unless you are on the earlies, where you're just checking the rides, pre-operational safety, just make sure the rides are safe. So you start about 8 o'clock. And obviously your ride close will be around about 4:30, all the way up until 6, depending if it's fireworks, where it'd be probably about 9 o'clock. Obviously, you do get breaks during that day. You'll probably get 1.5 hour, 1:15, or if it's a really long day, you'll get 2.5 hours, 1:15. And if you're on relief, you'll probably get a little bit longer before you start and after you finish as well. The first thing to say is that no day is completely the same at Drayton Manor. You'll go in one day and you'll be on one ride and it could be switched to another. You never know what ride you're on, which is good but also bad because you can't prepare if you're going to be on Ladies, for example. I was on Rapids predominantly of the time last season, just because it's a brand new ride and they never had a lot of staff trained up for it. Only a select few people were trained up for it. But you do tend to move around your rides usually quite quickly as well, depending on how quickly you pick up new rides and how quickly you are trained. Now, obviously, certain rides take longer to be trained on. So, for example, the Rapids, I think, is 14 hours, whereas Ladies Carousel is only 4 hours. So the best thing what I can suggest is talk to your team leader if you are thinking about working there and see what rides are best suited to you. You probably will end up on a smaller ride, so type 1 to start with, and work your way all the way up to type 4. Just because they like to put people on smaller rides first, just to get their knowledge and experience up. The next thing what I want to talk about is the management. Now, the management are absolutely fantastic. If you have any problems whatsoever, you go and speak to them and they will try their best to help you. This also goes to do with anything to do with mental health as well, which I found really good. If you are having a mental health day, or you're feeling a bit depressed one day or feeling a bit off, go and talk to your team leader. They will be sure to help you out. They might put you on cleaning for the day, where you're out of the way of operators and the staff. And then if you're just feeling really bad in general, they may even send you home. Now, obviously, don't use this to your advantage, but it is a really good thing to know that they've also got dedicated staff members, well, management team, who are there dedicated for mental health. They're all trained up professionally and they can help you out in anything. Management also do come round your rides as well, either once or twice a day, depending on what type ride it is. They may even just come twice just to see how you're doing. And they won't come if you're on relief, which you think is great because obviously you are the main operator for the day. So they will wait until you come off your break to come and speak to you. HR are also perfect in this as well. If you ever need anything to go and talk to them about, they've always got an open door policy. And they're also all really friendly in there as well. So the staff, obviously all the staff are like you, they're just there to do a job. However, you will make friends for life, you will make memories with them, you will go out on nights out, you will go and get drunk, you make mistakes, this, that and the other. But they're all generally really nice to work with. Obviously, most rides in Thomasland, they are a one operator ride only, whereas the few as well where you've got Rapids, where you've got Winston, for example, they are a couple of more than, like, so for example, Winston, you have 3 operators up there. Rapids, I think you had 9, I believe, altogether. So obviously, the bigger the ride, the bigger the team, but you do end up making friends for life. Some of the perks, you get free entry for the duration of your employment, which I think is fantastic. You also get free tickets for your friends and family, free parking for yourself as well when you're on site, also if you're just visiting for the day. You also get, usually, I don't know how it's going to work now, obviously after pandemic, but obviously we had our end of season party last year, which is also really good as well. They hire out a whole nightclub and you all go and have a great time at the end of season. The pay, which I'm sure everyone wants in here, it is minimum wage. However, they do all pay by, I think, £1 an hour, so you don't get paid for your holiday, so it is pre-rota, not pro-rota. So you do get £1 extra, but you don't get paid for your time off. So overall, what do I think of working for Drayton Manor? So I think it's great. I think the company is fantastic, especially if you're having a bit of a stepping stone between jobs. They are really helpful if you have childcare. They're really helpful if you have uni, school, college, you name it, or other commitments in life. They really do help along the way with everything you have needs for. Some of the rides are basic, for example, in Thomasland. However, it's a great way to build up your operator experience and your customer service experience. Not one day is completely the same, like I've said. So give it a try. I would rate Drayton Manor out of 10. Easily a 9. Obviously, there's a few improvements, which is the same with everything. However, the park is expanding constantly now. It's just added in the way swinger last year. It's also bringing in this new area this year, which I do know, but I can't say anything about this year. So it's Drayton Manor look to be improving constantly, which is fantastic. In regards to the future of the park, no idea. However, they have just been brought out by Looping. They saved every single staff member. They've obviously made a few redundancies in the process, but that's just what happens in a company takeover. It's fantastic to see the park expanding, adding new rides, employing new staff. It's fantastic to see what Looping are going to do and what they are planning to do with the park. So I think the big question is, why aren't I working out there anymore? Well, it's a little bit far of a drive, that's all it was really. It's 25 miles each way, 50 miles, or it was 50 miles each way when I lived in Stoke. So it's just it wasn't exactly advisable for me to keep going to and from the park every day. I also found a new job which paid a lot more money, so I just decided to quit it in after 2.5 seasons and do this new job. So hopefully this was helpful. It's a really quick insight to Drayton Manor. Obviously, if you want a little bit more information, do comment down below. Like, comment, and do subscribe. It does help, and I'm more than happy to give a little bit more information where and when I can. So I hope you liked it, this quick insight. Like, comment, and do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.